The world's most powerful immortal cultivator was forced to ascend by his own 5 wives, and they crash-landed into a fantasy world of elves and orcs. Meet Yigulu, perhaps the most tragic number 1 in the history of the Yunlai continent. He mastered the pure, void supreme Yang technique, a forbidden art that grants unimaginable power at the cost of celibacy. Legends say it takes 1,000 years to master, and for good reason. As the youngest and most formidable immortal of his generation, leader of the Musian sect, his collection of treasures is legendary. He is, by all accounts, living the peak power fantasy, lost in his delusions of invincibility, fantasizing about traversing the dimensional void. Reality slapped him back with the force of a meteor. A crimson sword light shattered his daydreams, followed by a storm of azure blades that trapped him completely. In a heartbeat, the mighty immortal was reduced to a desperate man contemplating an escape to the far corners of the universe. The facade of supremacy had well and truly crumbled. The master of this brutal lesson? His very own harem member, the Thunder Celestial Master, Lu Xiaoyu. She didn't bother with warnings, summoning the 5 Thunders' true law from the heavens. A pillar of lightning so immense, it outright obliterated Dragon Tiger Mountain's main peak. This wasn't a simple duel, it was a demolition project. Following it up, she descended in a fury, shattering his precious defensive artifacts without a second thought. This was less a lover's quarrel and more an attempt at a forced ascension. Corned by the 5 formidable female immortals of his harem, he finally broke down and screamed the devastating truth. Practicing pure, void, supreme yang means absolutely no contact with women. Break the rule, and you're either coughing up blood or straight up dying. All those times he'd mysteriously fallen ill at the most opportune moments, he was quite literally performing with his life on the line. Now, with his mastery nearly complete, there was no turning back. Game over. Memories of those sweet torments flooded back, a mix of shame, fear, and indignation. He had earnestly tried to guide them towards the great Tao, but did anyone listen? Not a soul. Now, trapped in their siege, every choice led to ruin. If he picks one, the others kill him. If he picks none, they all kill him. It was a life or death, hell difficulty my personal battle royale scenario, and the prize was oblivion. Bro, this is serious. The one in the sky isn't playing around. Lu Xiaoyu, one of Igulu's most formidable consorts, unleashes the 5 Thunder Righteous Law without hesitation. This isn't just a lightning strike. It's divine retribution. The main peak of Dragon Tiger Mountain, obliterated in an instant. Before the dust can even settle, a second barrage of thunder crashes down, aimed directly at Igulu. His shields, his legendary defenses, they might as well be paper, utterly shredded in the face of this absolute power. You don't get much deader than getting smited by your own, very angry wife. Escape? To where? With lightning ahead and poison behind, Igulu barely makes it to the starry expanse for a breather, only to find another queen blocking his way. Fei Hong, the demon lord, moves so fast it defies reality, cutting him off effortlessly. He tries to flash a casual smile, but inside he's screaming. Oh no, this one's even more dominant. Just when he thought it couldn't get worse, his caring little sister, Yin Yuyu, appears. She looks so concerned, like she's rushing to his aid. The second he lets his guard down for a fraction of a moment, BM, Divine Seal, Construct Barrier, hits him point blank. A flawless combo execution. The man who was just unstoppable moments ago gets completely sealed in the void by the one he trusted most. Betrayal? This is betrayal at its finest. Trapped and cornered, memories flood Yigulu's mind. This is the why. Why are these 5 god-tier beauties so hell-bent on killing him? It all goes back to that accursed cultivation technique, pure, boundless yang. He practically gave himself the ultimate no romance allowed debuff. The moment any female cultivator showed interest, the technique would backlash so hard he'd cough up buckets of blood before anything even happened. He'd beg them, focus on the Tao, sisters. Forget this silly romance stuff. And look where that got him. These 5 Tao-focused disciples are now working together to send their dear master into the afterlife. Pick one, the other 4 would obliterate him. Pick none, all 5 would turn him to dust. Talk about the most brutal, rom-com gone horribly wrong death in cultivation history. Sealed, poisoned, impaled through the head with a sword. A classic dead-end scenario, right? But look at his lips. That smirk. Yigulu glances at his 5 murderous consort disciples, and his expression is a mix of utter mockery and supreme confidence. Hey, he says, his voice dripping with dark amusement, did you forget who taught you the techniques you're using to trap me? Who refined the poison coursing through my veins? Who even gifted you that sword? Oh snap. The mood just shifted. He's a master. Using his own lessons against him? That's like bringing a knife to a nuclear war. Has the old fox been playing dead this whole time? And now, for the grand spectacle. The 5 most powerful female cultivators in the realm, notorious for their fierce rivalry over him, have achieved the impossible, united. They surround a completely immobilized Knight Tower like he's the final boss. The atmosphere is deadlier than a heavenly tribulation. But the question they bombard him with sends the entire cultivation world into a bewildered silence. Asterisk, who among us do you truly love? Asterisk, you heard that right. 5 apex immortals unleashing soul-shaking pressure for a twisted game of Thrones of the Heart. It's the deadliest love triangle, Pentagon, in history. And our protagonist, bound by his celibacy cultivation art, has no answer. Talk about a lethal dating sim on nightmare mode. When Knight Tower opens his eyes again, it's not to heavenly clouds. It's a rustic, wooden room straight out of a European fantasy. Instinctively, he scans his core, and his heart sinks. It's empty. His world-shaking cultivation base, capable of toppling mountains, gone. His formidable spirit veins, dormant. The reality hits him like a celestial hammer. The ascension succeeded, but he was yeeted across dimensions into a completely alien world, forced into a full factory reset. He's back at level 1, a complete noob. No cheat codes, no OP gear. The once undisputed top dog is now the underdog. Talk about a hard restart. Enter Luna, the perky elf village chief. She presents him with an ancient, sacred tome called the Final Mercy Prophecy, pointing with utmost seriousness. Asterisk, behold. The prophecy says the otherworldly traveler awakened between 2 peaks shall purge our lands of impurity. Asterisk, Knight Tower takes a closer look. The ink, barely dry. This prophecy was clearly scribbled 5 minutes ago. He's about to call out this obvious scam when he meets Luna's wide, hopeful eyes and hears about the village's desperate plight against vicious orcs. Glancing at his own bare-bones stats, a light bulb flickers on. This smells like the start of an epic quest, the kind fate hands to the protagonist. A fake prophecy? Maybe. But a golden opportunity? Definitely. All right, he thinks. Asterisk, let the adventure and the grift begin. Asterisk. Yigu Lu, once the #1 cultivator, was now pinned down like a fish on a chopping block. The 5 most powerful and troublesome women in the world had him surrounded on all sides. Lu Xiaoyu's thunder crackled. Yin Yuyu's gaze was unfathomably deep. Demon Lord Fei Hong's killing intent was chilling. Yuzhuan Murong's fingers were laced with shimmering poison. Even Mu Bai, who once treated him like a brother, watched coldly with sword drawn. They all demanded one answer. Who do you love? Choose Lu Xiaoyu, and the other 4 would tear you apart instantly. Choose Yin Yuyu? As if she believed a smooth talker like you. This wasn't a choice, it was a death sentence, folks. Cornered, he forced an ascension, and ended up blowing a hole straight through the fabric of reality, taking his entire harem with him. After a world-shattering tumble, Yigu Lu woke up in an alien realm, his head throbbing. Thinking he'd lucked into a safe haven, he reached to pull up the covers and froze solid. Lying right there in his bed was a breathtaking woman with long golden hair and elegant, pointed ears. Her pose was alluring, her gaze utterly captivating. Yigu Lu's brain blue-screened on the spot. Who am I? Where am I? What kind of honeypot trap is this? The benefits package for this interdimensional trip is way too intense. To earn some coin in this new world, Yigu Lu dragged his buddy Lu Xiaoyu to the local adventurers guild. Boom! He was immediately dazzled by the overly enthusiastic, bunny-eared receptionists. They finally grabbed a simple F-rank quest, take down some low-level monsters. How hard could it be? Wrong. His flashy opening move got him immediately tangled up and trussed like a Thanksgiving turkey by some magic vines. Humiliating. He was saved by a flick of Lu Xiaoyu's lightning. Round 2. Fighting a slime. Yigu Lu thought, time to regain my honor with a stylish takedown. But the slime fought dirty. It activated a mimicry skill right in front of him and morphed into a fluid, curvaceous, entirely female water elemental form. Yigu Lu turned to stone. How was he supposed to fight that? Lu Xiaoyu's look of pure, unadulterated disdain said it all. Even a slime sends you into your classic harem selection dilemma. You absolute player. The moment Yigu Lu has been dreading in his nightmares has arrived. Lu Xiaoyu, the heavenly master of thunder who once hunted him down, unleashes the 5 thunders technique he knows all too well. Fresh off the boat in this newbie village, the former #1 cultivator gets a welcome gift from his ex-girlfriend, a direct hit from the heavens. Talk about a shocking reunion. Bam! As Igu Lu reels from the electric shock, his eyes widen in disbelief. That signature Sunder attitude, that classic, "it's not like I'm saving you, idiot" line. Jackpot. The one who saved the entire elf village from the orc invasion, the newly met, slightly haughty elf girl, is none other than his ex, Lu Xiaoyu, stripped of her memories and hunting him down. Chapter break / advertisement. Right on cue, Lu Xiaoyu drops her first Sunder bomb. "You thought I was trying to save you? Fool." Igu Lu's jaw hits the floor. "Seriously? Your acting skills are even better than mine? So the brave little elf girl who saved the village and fought by my side is actually my hot-headed ex-girlfriend in disguise, hell-bent on turning me into a light show?" No screenwriter would dare come up with a plot twist this wild. Awkwardness level, over 9,000. Igu Lu is utterly flabbergasted, stammering Xiaoyu. He realizes the terrifying truth, that celestial tribulation really did bring all 5 of his harem along for the ride. Lu Xiaoyu's gaze is sharp enough to cut diamonds. She goes straight for the jugular. "Is it true, Master Yi, that your entire cultivation base is gone?" Igu Lu tries to laugh it off. "Ah, ha ha ha. So formal, my dear Xiaoyu. Don't call me master, just Xiao Yi is fine." But Lu Xiaoyu isn't having it. Stepping closer, she delivers the final blow. "Master Yi was so powerful, ascending to heaven even while besieged by the 5 of us. To be in the immortal world with you. Game over. The pretense is shattered. The War of the X's has officially begun in this brand new world." All right, folks, we've entered the comedy zone. On one side, Xiaoyu is absolutely glowing with excitement. "This makes me very happy." And what about our buddy Igu Lu? He's having a full-blown internal crisis. "No, I'm not sure." He's trying to convince himself. But that attempt is absolutely futile. You see that fierce ding sound effect as she stares at him? That's the prelude to the storm. Just watch what's about to happen. Talk about a drastic shift. The shyness vanishes instantly, replaced by explosive action. "You chose me to be your servant?" Igu Lu's angry shout is met with 0 words, just a sudden, violent rush. "No, Xiaoyu, one down." But the real shocker comes after. He points at her demanding, "How do you still have cultivation power? Tell me your rank." Wrong move. The response is pure fury. "You still dare point at me?" Boom. Another explosion sends him scrambling. Fast forward 3 months later, and a different character is completely baffled by Xiaoyu's presence. Looks like this is way bigger than a simple reunion. Mystery solved. The big reveal is here. Luna, the sweet little elf? A total fabrication. She's actually the thunder goddess, Lu Xiaoyu. She used forbidden illusion arts to change her looks, and even rewrote her own consciousness using the dream butterfly technique, making herself believe the lie. But every lock has a key. Her self-imposed seal breaks under 2 conditions: facing real danger or encountering another cultivator. Cut to Igu Lu's face. That mischievous grin says it all. He's the trigger. Seal broken. The real Xiaoyu is back. Having revealed herself, Xiaoyu prepares for a graceful exit, informing the elf elder. "Tomorrow, we leave." The elder is surprised by their sudden departure. A bittersweet farewell scene is what should have happened. But suddenly, a frantic figure bursts onto the scene. It's Igu Lu on a desperate mission. Wait, I forgot something vital. He's not thinking about the prophecy or the impending dangers. He's screaming to himself, "I haven't even looked for loot after fighting that orc." There you have it, folks. Priorities. The once powerful cultivator's true heart is laid bare. Igu Lu rummaged through an abandoned orc den, only to find a couple of very specific orc organs. He was about to lose it and stomp them into dust. But then a faint blue glow in the corner caught his eye, a shimmering, lizard-like relic radiating starlight. Talk about going from trash-tier loot to stumbling upon a legendary artifact. Disaster. The glowing green lizard relic had been spotted. Igu Lu's first instinct? Deny everything. It's nothing. There's nothing here. But his acting was so over the top, it was almost comical. When that didn't work, he immediately switched gears, putting on a full-blown performance of righteous anger, blaming everyone else. In a final, desperate move, he ripped open his shirt, revealing the little lizard on his stomach to the fairy sister. Her reaction? A mortified, high-pitched eek, as her face turned beet red. Yeah, the secret was definitely out now. After that eventful night, dawn finally broke. The sisters of the fairy village gathered, their eyes full of reluctance. "Can't you stay just a bit longer?" They pleaded sincerely. Though touched, Igu Lu knew it was time to go. Just before leaving, he suddenly remembered something and mentioned those 3 maids. The air grew still, and several fairies' eyes lit up with interest. With a final, calm farewell, he and his companion took their leave, leaving behind a group of golden-haired figures brimming with sadness and unspoken attachment. Another chapter in his complicated romantic ledger. As Yigu Lu began to walk away, one fairy sister couldn't hold back any longer. She rushed after him, grabbing his wrist. As he turned in surprise, asterisk moi asterisk, a shy, grateful kiss landed on his cheek. "Thank you very much, Mr. Traveler," she whispered, her face flushed. This casual display of affection sent Yin Yu, watching nearby, into absolute shock. This wasn't a goodbye. This was a blatant homewrecker move happening right in front of her. Tempted by the fairy sister's gentle invitation to come back and see me whenever you want, Yigu Lu's resolve wavered again, a chibi version of him pumping his fist with determination. That resolve lasted all of 1 second before Yin Yu's swift kick snapped him back to reality. "Don't reach for a yard after getting an inch," she scolded. The two bickered and sprinted away from this nest of temptation. Sometime later, in the night sky, a brilliant meteor streaked across. But instead of fading, it transformed into a pillar of golden light, crashing down onto a distant spire. New trouble, or perhaps an old acquaintance, had just arrived. Under the night sky, a golden gate of light tears through the peace without warning. This display leaves the three women watching from a distance utterly stunned. Don't panic. That depends entirely on who walks out of that portal. As the light fades, the figure that emerges takes everyone's breath away. Clad in blindingly holy white armor, holding a cross-shaped lance, crowned like a bishop, this is no ordinary knight. Even the elves whisper in awe. This has to be at the level of a knight commander under the Pope, at the very least. But her silver hair and face seem strangely familiar. Her next words freeze the air. "My recon knights report, the orcs are coming again." The scene shifts to a radiant, holy hall. Livia, the green-haired retainer knight, clenches her fists, her expression burning with solemn fervor. To whom is she swearing this oath? Is this passionate vow for a holy order from on high? Or has its target already locked onto a certain transmigrator? Out on the wild plains of another world, our main man, Yigu Lu, is casually recharging. The girl beside him looks utterly done with him. Fool, this isn't the immortal world at all. Gulu remains unflappably cool. Figured that out already. The aura circulation here, perfect. It's practically a custom-built cultivation paradise for me. Looks like Brother Yi plans to treat this whole new world as his personal starter zone, aiming to climb right back to the top from zero. Look at this. The once invincible immortal, Yigu Lu couldn't even sense the most basic spiritual energy. And the lady beside him, Lu Xiaoyu, now Lu Xiaoyu, didn't hesitate to call him out on it. Talk about awkward. But hold on to your seats, folks. In the very next moment, he flexes what I can only call God-tier comprehension. From a complete mortal yesterday to stepping into the chi condensation stage today. The sheer speed of it left Lu Xiaoyu blushing furiously, utterly flabbergasted. But that triumphant look on old Ye's face soon fades. Breaking through? It's not a pleasant memory. What lies ahead isn't a smooth path. It's pure, unadulterated danger. Here we go again. Look at Yigu Lu, puffing out his chest and spinning that same old yarn about his glorious past. Fresh from Foundation establishment, he takes down a fourth heaven female demon tiger, then squares off against its 1,000-year-old mate, saves a damsel in distress, and inherits her cultivation. The whole spiel. Lu Xiaoyu's heard it a million times. She cuts him off cold. "Dude, I've heard this story 800 times. Unfazed, Yi argues it's no fun without a female cultivator as an audience. But Lu, ever practical, drops a solution. Want to get stronger and fight? Go become an adventurer. That throws our immortal powerhouse for a loop. Adventurer? What in the world is that? Well. Talk about an eye-opener. This adventure gig in the new world is basically a government-issued license to be a righteous scoundrel. The job description sounds noble enough. Eradicate evil, bring peace. But the benefits? They're absolutely bonkers. Complete quests, level up, get paid. Excel, and you get promoted to a registered hero. And once you're a hero, the privileges are off the charts. Casually chat up anyone, casually loot people's houses. And the kicker, all loot from slain monsters belongs entirely to you. No need to hand it over. Just look at this scene. A mountain of gold coins, beauties kneeling in adoration. Yigu Lu's eyes are practically popping out of his skull. His soul is screaming. There's such a good thing. In his old cultivation world, he had to fight tooth and nail for resources. Here, you can just legally coast. Bro just struck gold in the New World's rulebook. Yigu Lu is instantly sold. That easy? What are we waiting for? Let's go. Right now, to the Adventurers Guild to register. He's practically bouncing, desperate to get his hands on that casual flirting privilege. The two of them set off immediately, heading straight for the nearest city, Aid City. Old Yi is practically skipping, already savoring his future flirting freedom. But little does he know, while the mantis stalks the cicada, the oriole waits behind. On a distant grassy slope, a green-haired girl watches them leave through a telescope. Her expression is a mix of awkwardness and sheer disappointment. Finally, with a thud, she hurls the telescope to the ground. Looks like someone has more than a passing interest in our protagonist. The girl who smashed the telescope is none other than the elven warrior who was tailing them earlier. She sprawled on the grass, face flushed, chest heaving. She knows the road they're on leads straight to Aid City. Her rational side screams that this man, the hero who soloed an orc prince, needs to be observed, his motives understood. The scene shifts, revealing the grand panorama of Aid City. Next, we're inside the city's busiest hub, the Adventurers Guild. The wooden hall is bustling. Then, a poised, efficient-looking receptionist with long brown hair steps forward with a warm smile. Hi there, welcome to the Adventurers Guild of Aid City. A new map, a new beginning, and undoubtedly, a whole new set of troubles await them right here. Welcome to the other world, where the service industry takes things to a new level. The former cultivation king, Yigu Lu, is hit by a cultural whiplash he never prepared for. As a bunny-suited attendant innocently asks, "How can I be of help?" he's likely screaming internally about the purity of his cultivation. Meanwhile, his companion Lu Xiaoyu is over there having an existential breakdown, her face screaming, "What is this new knowledge? This isn't just an adventure. It's a psychological warfare campaign." First battle, survive the awkwardness. And the spark of inspiration hits him. Yigu Lu is now completely obsessed with the fashion of this world. His brain is on fire. If these clothes are so incredible, what if Xiaoyu wore them too? His once stoic, lightning-wielding ex-companion, Lu Xiaoyu, is now vividly imagined in his mind, fully decked out in a bunny suit, blushing furiously. As stopped staring, she'd probably protest. The strongest cultivator of a continent? He's been defeated, not by dragons or demons, but by his own very specific and very dangerous imagination. Back to business. To survive and get stronger in this new world, registering as adventurers is step one. Yigu Lu, with the real Lu Xiaoyu no longer in disguise, and their trusty guide, the naive village chief Luna, stroll into the guild. The process is eventful, judging by the shattered floorboard one of them is casually bouncing on. After the not-so-complicated procedures, they get a classic rookie quest: take down a low-level nuisance called the Mystic Vine. The description sounds perfect: weak combat, just bothers passersby, low danger. What could possibly go wrong with such a simple, straightforward task? From fantasy to reality, Yigu Lu confidently declares, "It's decided, we'll take it," and charges into the forest. But the fantasy ends there. Instead of finding a damsel, he becomes the damsel. The low-danger, mystic vines instantly lash out, wrapping around him completely. That comfortable-looking green scarf around his neck, it's a vine and it's tight. The smug look vanishes, replaced by pure panic. The mighty cultivator is suddenly just a guy in over his head, screaming for his only reliable companion. "Save me, Xiaoyu!" And then, boom, a massive explosion rips through the scene. So much for a simple rookie quest. Well. Our world's strongest immortal cultivator, Yigu Lu, is now grinding away at beginner quests in a new world. A mission complete scroll unfurls, a humble reset for a god-tier powerhouse. A lone green-haired figure stands with his back to us, weapon slung over his shoulder, two fallen opponents in the grass. The look on his face? Pure, un poter de indiferencia. He's asking, this is all? Talk about a desperate play for clout. To rebuild his image, or to show off for Lu Xiaoyu, the newly reawakened Heavenly Thunder Mage. Yigu Lu is pulling out all the stops. He's not hunting dragons. No, he flips through the monster guide and sets his sights on the lowliest of slimes. His motivation? I don't want to get shocked again. Even in a new life, the scars from his exes run deep. He sprints, declaring, "Xiaoyu will see my bravery today." And Xiaoyu herself? Red-faced, sweating, and bashful. "Girl, he's fighting a gel blob. Why are you blushing?" The scene arrives. The ultimate Mo attack. Yigu Lu points confidently at the wobbly, blue blob of a slime. See? It's small and cute. And how does the usually icy and formidable Lu Xiaoyu react? She cracks. hands over her face, shrieking, "I won't see it. Don't let it come over." Who knew the mighty Thunder Archmage was secretly terrified of sticky blobs? Yigulu's mind is blown. Xiaoyu, you're scared of this? That smirk on his face says it all. He's found the perfect weakness. And the final, softly spoken, "Lu Xiaoyu, you're so cute," is a critical hit. This shipping content? Delivered. Mood. Set to romantic pink emergency. Yigulu shifts into smooth talking mode, launching a combo attack. "You look cute when you're proud after I praise you. It's also cute when you act Sundra and zap me. Even cuter when you're obviously scared but trying to hide it." With each line, Lu Xiaoyu's defensive HP bar shatters. So much so, even the nearby slime's brain short circuits, left uttering, "What is this?" Poor Blue Blob, just a bystander. With Xiaoyu on the brink of tears, Yigulu pulls the ultimate pivot. He points at the slime in mock outrage. "Evil monster, how dare you violate this cuteness?" "Buddy, the slime was just chilling. But I guess picking a fight is the best way to cover up your own blushing." Huh? The action finally kicks in. Enough talk. With a time to make a move, Yigulu signals the start of the tutorial fight. The slime obliges, activating its signature skill, mimicry. It twists, morphs, and contorts, putting on a dazzling show. But who is Yigulu? He's a seasoned veteran of a much harsher world. His gaze turns analytical cold. Mimicry? A move that changes form, but has zero combat effectiveness? I've already seen right through you. In that moment, the goofy guy teasing a girl is gone. There's a flash of his former self, that supreme cultivator who saw through the very fabric of reality. Now, let's see how this god in Immortal's weakest vessel schools a puddle of jelly. Speak of the devil, and they shall appear. Just as Yigulu was struggling to cultivate from scratch, without even a decent set of clothes, one of the 5 dear sisters who forced him to ascend finally tracked him down. In the forest, this water-based fairy made a grand entrance. But there was a slight problem. It seemed she had just taken human form, and was completely naked, relying only on flowing water for modesty. Look at Yigulu's "what the hell is this" expression and the blushing white-haired girl beside him. This harem conflict started at the hardest difficulty. And her first question upon reappearing, "Where are my clothes?" How do you even answer that? Tell her your other sisters beat you into ascension? Holy cow. So there's an actual PR team behind this harem ice guy project? This promo poster perfectly sums up Yigulu's legacy. "My harem grew so large, I was forced to ascend. Female cultivators are after me, each title more outrageous than the last." Turns out, the new legend of Lord Yi in this other world has already been spreading across dimensions. I wonder how the production team feels seeing the protagonist they created currently being chased down by 5 ex-girlfriends. Oh no. Just as Yigulu finished his cool one-liner, his expression completely crumbles. His face goes beet red, sweating bullets. He must have remembered something absolutely catastrophic. That thumbs up isn't a sign of approval. It's pure panic after a sudden, horrifying realization. And then, boom, he gets completely blasted. A giant MUA appears behind him. I know this scene all too well. It's the classic prelude to a harem punishment. Is it Lu Xiaoyu's thunder magic? Or Yin Yu's charm? Damn it. The cool act just started, and karma's already knocking. Case closed. The attacker is none other than the most hot-tempered, thunder-slinging Lu Xiaoyu. She's got a new look too. White hair, red eyes. But her signature 5 thunder execution is unmistakable. Just a second ago, she was crouching, complaining about bad combat ethics, looking all wronged. Then her face goes blank, probably after seeing the water fairy's natural state. And then, she goes full berserk. 5. Thunder. Execution. The jealousy pot has officially exploded. This rage-fueled lightning strike looks even fiercer than when they Weigong Yigulu back in the day. Good luck, Lord Yi. You're gonna need it. The atmosphere in the Adventurers Guild guest room is tense. While the green-haired girl appears to be calmly reading, her mind is anything but quiet. Across the room, a white-haired character grooming their hair is internally lamenting the torment they've endured. Trying to overpower me with cultivation? Not a chance. It looks like they've decided to dust off a long-lost, now-recovered treasure. This isn't cooperation. It's the opening act of a new power struggle. The white-haired girl completely drops the act. She theatrically opens her robe to reveal an inner layer shimmering with rainbow light. Now go apologize to brother Yigulu. This isn't mediation. It's a direct power play. Seeing the other's flustered face, the white-haired girl smirks and extends a mischievous invitation. Xiaoyu, if you're free, let's study how to fuse Dream Butterfly and Mirror Flower, Water Moon, shall we? Panic officially ensues. The tables have turned. The previously domineering character now clutches her collar, cheeks flushed, eyes evasive. But since your cultivation is superior to mine, my senpai, I thought it was only right to ask for your advice. The whiplash from imperious attacker to deferential junior is masterful. The white-haired, red-eyed girl is internally ecstatic. Asterisk, this fool is begging me asterisk, while trying to maintain a stoic facade. Well, if you ask me like that, I can't refuse. It took courage to admit you're beneath me. I'll give you pointers just once. The thunder energy is off the charts. Within a current of dreamlike blue energy, a masterclass in disguise unfolds. The golden-haired elf, or rather, the powerful being posing as one, takes center stage. Watch closely, I won't demonstrate this again. Mirror flower, water moon, to reshape appearance. Dream butterfly, to alter perception. When these two supreme illusions are combined, truth and falsehood blur into an impenetrable facade. Her green eyes open with absolute confidence. No one can see past this transformation. It seems she's come prepared with the ultimate toolkit to get close to her target. A dangerous smirk plays on the white-haired girl's lips. The mask is off, the game is up. So that's how it is. Then you're no different from a regular elf, are you? Then she whips out a sacred object that strikes fear into the hearts of orcs everywhere. Then experience this. The target's legs buckle in terror. Flashing a triumphant grin, the assailant casually makes her demand. Relax, I just need you to promise me 3 little things. This isn't a request. It's an ultimatum with a smile. Yigulu thinks he's finally got Lu Xiaoyu in a corner. Look at that smug face, laying down 3 ironclad rules. No anger, no more lightning strikes, and from now on, it's Brother Yi with a smile. He's even got some kind of elven trinket as leverage. He really thinks he's turning the tables. The reality check hits hard. Lu Xiaoyu drops the bombshell. Fool, I'm not even a real elf. You think that thing would work on me? Panic sweat instantly drenches Yigulu. He scrambles to scoop up the shattered salamander, tries to bolt with a pathetic, "You've worked hard, senior. Let me handle things today." But he barely steps outside before a literal bolt from the blue lights him up. Turns out, all that bashful blushing was just an Oscar-worthy performance. Talk about emotional whiplash. On one side, Lu Xiaoyu hits him with a teary, heartfelt plea. Even without the orc threat, why couldn't you just come to me yourself? Brutal. Meanwhile, on the other side, Yigulu is in full-on Terminator mode. Under a dark moon, a sword flash cleaves the night. Swish, and a pseudo-legendary corrupted whelp drops dead. He sheathes his blade, cool as ice, and mutters, "Task complete." The man is living in 2 completely different worlds. But even after pulling off that insane solo kill, Yigulu is running on fumes. Blood on his face, he stares at the immortal sword, gasping. He knows relying on ancient artifacts to punch above his weight is a dead end. His own cultivation is stuck. I must break through and fast. The thought burns. But as he staggers from the dragon's den, wounded and spent, new eyes are already on him. A shield maiden watches from afar, utterly baffled. Soloing a corrupted whelp? No party? No healer? Is this guy insane? Or am I hallucinating? Trouble just won't leave him alone. And the real trouble is just beginning. Yigulu has more than one stalker on his tail. A green-haired knight from the Holy See waits to apprehend him the moment he's alone. But from the shadows emerges competition. A mask comes off, the aura shifts, boom. The succubus Yin Yu makes her grand entrance. 2 hunters collide under the moonlight, hostility crackling in the air. Why are you waiting for him to be alone? Since when does a holy knight practice succubus arts? Fantastic. Before the harem war even reignites, 2 of his pursuers are about to throw down right here. Trouble has arrived, precisely the kind Yigulu was hoping to avoid. One of his former harem sisters, the succubus Yin Yu, descends under the night sky of this new world. Her smile is sweet, but her eyes are sharper than any blade, a silent warning to any who would dare approach her man. This green-haired knight seems like an honest denizen of the new world, trying to intimidate with the title knight of the Holy See. But before she can even finish her threat, Yin Yu's smile widens. The Holy See? What a joke in the face of a succubus who has witnessed true celestial power. An utterly one-sided confrontation is inevitable. This isn't a fight. It's a massacre. Yin Yu goes all out, her demonic wings erupting in an instant. She talks about settling old scores for Brother Sect, but her blade shows no mercy. The Green Knight's shield shatters like paper under a boom. The knight is utterly stunned, her mind reeling from the sheer, illogical power. Just when it seemed like Yin Yu was about to secure an easy win, a twist. The knight had an ace up her sleeve, transforming holy water into a mirage and forging it into a colossal energy hammer. The surprise attack connects solidly, sending Yin Yu flying with a shocked cry. It seems even a powerhouse for the cultivation world can't afford to underestimate the native skills of this new realm. But did you think it was over? How naive. The thrown Yin Yu is not only unhurt, but utterly provoked. She steadies herself instantly, conjuring an elegant magic circle in her palm that snuffs out the knight's attack. Then, she reveals a name that shatters the knight's entire worldview. Mushin Sect Cloud Formation. A secret technique from Yigu Lu's former sect. The knight's expression is one of sheer horror. The karma of the cultivation world is rippling outward in this new land with terrifying force. Atop the mountain, Yin Yu, once a celestial immortal, now a succubus queen, coldly purges her competition. A golden magic array erupts, blasting her fellow transmigrator, Lu Xiaoyu, clean off the cliff. Lu Xiaoyu, the master of Thunderback in the cultivation world, finds herself turned into a falling star in this new realm. Plummeting to her doom, she desperately activates her last-ditch skill, Holy Water Mirage form. The water sphere explodes just in time, cushioning her impact as she crashes like a meteor into a deep mountain pool, sending a tidal wave sky-high. Barely alive, she collapses at the water's edge, gasping for air. What a disastrous first move. Even after disposing of her rival, Yin Yu is on her last legs. This new succubus form is a serious energy hog. She's practically swaying on her feet, face flushed, even the demonic marks on her body glowing a warning red due to critical energy depletion. Gritting her teeth, she curses. Relying on siphoning life force from nearby mortal women is like filling the ocean with a thimble. The recharge time is woefully inadequate. She stumbles away, desperate to get back to the cafeteria, the Adventurers Guild, for a proper meal. And of course, her trusty warhammer is nowhere to be found. Life after transmigration is just one mess after another. Cut to our hero, Yi Gulo, gathering intel at the guild tavern. What he finds isn't just news, it's a shocker. A bunny-eared waitress slyly shows him a high-value bounty poster. The target? A law-breaking succubus who uses forbidden magic and specifically preys on young, innocent girls. Key features? Tiny black horns, a tail, and a severe lack of intelligence. Proceed with caution. Yigulo stares at the crudely drawn poster, and his mind goes blank. That description, those features, it's none other than one of his lost harem members, Yin Yu herself. In a surge of panic and recognition, he slams his hands on the table and shouts her name. Oh no, his trouble magnet harem isn't just here. They're already making headlines. Just as Yigulo is reeling from the news about Yin Yu, trouble literally falls from the sky. As he wanders the wilderness, a panicked OHHH pierces the air, followed by a green-haired girl crash-landing face-first on the grass before him. Yigulo is stunned. People just drop out of the sky in this world? He takes a closer look at the unconscious girl. She's quite pretty, reminds him a bit of Yin Yu, but with to him, different figure. As he goes to help, he hesitates. Where exactly does one place their hands in this situation? The atmosphere suddenly gets a bit awkward. After a brief internal struggle, his former hero Complex wins. Yigulo sighs. He can't just leave someone in distress. Deciding to shoulder this heaven-sent responsibility, he hoists the unconscious green-haired girl onto his back. This fortunate encounter is a bit too literal for his taste. Little does he know, he hasn't found a damsel in distress. He's picked up a walking trouble magnet. He carries her to a seemingly safe cave, sets her down, and is about to catch his breath when things go south. Beside him, the girl's breathing turns ragged. Her face flushes bright red, and sweat beads on her forehead. Something is very wrong. This isn't a romantic subplot. It's the opening scene of another crisis. In the suffocating darkness and steam, the green-haired woman's entire body trembles. An overwhelming, impossible warmth seeps into her very marrow. Desperately, she opens a tear-filled eye, only to find her lost archmage husband, Yigu Lu, sleeping soundly beside her in this unfamiliar world. All that effort to escape him, to fly to the heavens, only to end up here, trapped by his simple, sleeping presence. The scene cuts to a mysterious scanlation group promoting their latest webtoons. Look at these wild titles. My harem grew so large, I was forced to ascend. Female cultivators are after me. Hang on, does that sound familiar to anyone? If Yigu Lu saw this, he'd probably have a panic attack. Is his personal cosmic level drama, being turned into comics in this new world? Worse, could this be a breadcrumb trail left by his other time-lost, vengeance-seeking wives who are now closing in?